Anyway, hi, I am the first person here talking about the house that I live in, so I think that it's a little bit of a different perspective, but it's also a house that I had nothing to do with designing. So I want to make that clear that we actually were very lucky. We were living in an eco-village in New South Wales, planning to build there. That fell through for a variety of reasons, and we were able to find this house that was just finished being built. We were able to buy it brand new, but we were not really involved in the design. I do know about the design. I can answer questions about it later if you'd like, but it isn't our house that we planned, it's our house that we found, and we're very, very lucky to have found it. So this is the front of the house. It is one half of a sustainable duplex. It's a hempcrete design on one side and WeatherTex and the rest on the first floor. We live in the left half of the duplex here in a small eco-village up in the hills in Mount Barker. People are familiar with where Mount Barker is, but I think people, since I've moved here, think, oh, you're so far out of the city. It's actually super convenient. In peak hour traffic coming here today, it took me 44 minutes to get here from Mount Barker. The bus takes less than that when I come into the city, and if I drive into the city to the CBD, it's under half an hour. So it is very convenient. We are right near the freeway. If we zoom in to this, that's where we are right now, and if we zoom into where the house is and where Miller's Corner Eco-Village is, then you can see how close we are to all the things right in Mount Barker itself. If we switch to a map, you can see the house is right there. It is incredibly convenient living in this part of Mount Barker. That's a 1.5 kilometer radius. Call it a 15 or 20 minute walk depending on your walking speed. In that 1.5 kilometer radius, we have 4 bus stops to the city. We have 4 supermarkets plus a discount grocery store with NQR. For all 4 brands, we have Woolworths, Aldi, Kohl's, and Foodland, and then there are Drake's that we can drive to from there. We've got a library, we've got a cinema, we've got 2 shopping centers, and a lot of restaurants, all within walking distance. So I basically never drive anywhere. I take a bus into the city, I walk through our shared use paths throughout Mount Barker whenever I go anywhere, and it was last week I got in the car with my partner. I said, when was the last time we used the car? And we really had to think about it. And the next time was to come down here because there was no public transport coming to here, unfortunately. But we deal with what we get, right? So we're very conveniently located. We can be on the freeway in a few minutes. We can be at all the amenities you would need very, very easily, and that's one of the main reasons that we chose to live in this community. The other thing that we wanted was to live in this small eco-village community. If we zoom in on that square, it's a very small eco-village. There are still 5 houses left to build. When it's finished, we'll have 13 occupied lots and our common house in the middle. So it was one large block. This was what it looked like a long time ago. Graham and Leah Parsons owned this 7,000 square meter block with 1 house on it. They decided to downsize, but rather than downsize and move to a smaller lot somewhere else that was more manageable, they said, why don't we give up most of our land and find neighbors that want to live with us? So they subdivided this large block of land into a number of small lots, and we ended up as a small community. So this is what the community layout looks like. Our house is number 6 up there, and there are a number of lots around. We still have several left to sell, but basically this gives you the idea of the layout. The middle of the community, that C1, there's actually a building there. That's our common house, which we all share. I'll show some pictures and video of it in a moment, but it is a shared resource where we can have gatherings, where if we have a guest room for anybody who wants to come and stay, who maybe you don't want certain relatives in your house with you, you can put them up there. Or if you don't have room, if you have a smaller house and you don't have a guest room, then you can use this guest room yourself very easily. So this is the inside of our house. It's an open plan ground floor. It's a really nice architectural design. It's not something we would have been able to afford to build in Sydney, honestly, but the lower house prices here were an advantage. It is really well laid out. It's actually effectively a 1-bedroom accessible house on the ground floor. And then upstairs we have additional bedrooms. So we have an all-electric, very nice kitchen with lots of space in it. We have an accessible ground floor bathroom with both a shower and a bathtub. And in terms of energy efficiency, we recently found that you can buy these little saunas, basically. It's a sauna steam room thing that uses just maybe less than 1 kilowatt of power to run for 20 minutes or so and sit in. Your head sticks out the hole. But we bought one of these on Marketplace because we always try to get things secondhand wherever we can and reuse things. The house has a double height lounge and dining area with kind of a loft feel upstairs with 3 more bedrooms. birch ply ceilings. The whole area of the house is just under 150 square meters, and it's 4 bedrooms. So you can fit 4 bedrooms in 150 square meters pretty easily. 2 of them are smaller. We use one as a shared office, and one is kind of an exercise space and yoga space, those kind of things. And one of the really cool things is when this community was built, the trees that were on the site that had to be taken down mostly were the diseased trees. They tried to keep the healthy trees as much as possible, and those trees were milled into our windows, into some of these benches, into some of the other woodwork in the building. So actually the trees remained on site and were able to be used in the building of the houses. We have our 5.5 insulation in the roof. We have our 4.2 in the hempcrete wall and 3.2 in the WeatherTex walls, and this is the view upstairs. But we also want to have multi-purpose spaces, so this is our guest room. We also use it as a den most of the time. We aren't people who like to have a TV in the lounge room, so we have a couch that folds out into a bed here, and we have the TV in there, and it's a multi-purpose space so that we don't have to have a dedicated guest room off to the side. But if we need to have extra guest space, we do have the Forest House Common House, which is a shared facility that everybody has access to, and inside Forest House we have a large gathering space with a kitchen. We have community meals and meetings in there, but you can also use it for a party or an event or anything else. And it has a similar design to our house with the kind of loft feel upstairs. And this amazing piece of wood here was actually one large piece of a tree that was on site that was milled into this great banister here overlooking the downstairs. Yeah, and really, it's about the convenience, it's about the community. One of the main reasons to move to this place was not just the house, but was the people that are living there and the accessibility that we have to neighbors, that we have to Mount Barker and the whole area. So really, it's just an amazing place to live. Certainly welcome anybody up to come and look at it. We aren't open for Sustainable House Day this year, but we were last year, and we probably will be in the future as well. Just didn't have any people available on Sustainable House Day this year. But yeah, I'm able to answer any questions when we do the Q&A, and I'm happy to talk to people otherwise afterwards. Thank you.